Hey, it's Brandon with RPG Overviews. Let's take a look at Dragonslayer. This is a free download on drivethrurpg. It says classic fantasy role-playing game. It is not based off the movie, which of course I love the movie. It had a big influence on me as a kid. And this is by Greg Gillespie, who gave us Baramaze. So this is going to be an upcoming, it says 300-page rule set based off BX in first edition. I can't wait to see more about it. Apparently, if you go on Facebook through the Baramaze page, you'll get some more information about it. But he has given us a little bit of a preview here with this quick start. First thing I see here is cover art by Jeff Easley. I can't wait to see that cover. Jeff Easley is my all-time favorite artist. He had a big impact on me with second edition. That's where I started with D&D. So yeah, of course he was everywhere in second edition, and I think he's the best. But we also have some other interior art by some ex-TSR employees too that stand out to me big, or Jeff D and Diesel. So that's very neat. And there's a lot of other artists too, so I'm looking forward to seeing their art in it. This is just kind of a bare bones. You can see here, it's how to play, terminology, character creation, ability scores, and character races. So not a whole bunch, but there is some good information here to tell you the scope and the focus of what the game's about, how to play. It explains a little bit about his background of how he came up with this and how he used it in his home games. But ask exact questions, rulings over rules, which of course is the best way to go in my opinion. The Maze Controller is pretty much the game master. The League of Ordinary Gentlemen, these are just ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Talks about game balance, which I absolutely love this here. Talks about how some contemporary game companies and role-playing game products virtue signal about the importance of game balance to ensure player success. This is lame and a painful sanitation of the hobby. That is exactly true. I love this. If you want to stay alive, you need to set ambushes, engage in deception and reconnaissance, always fight on ground of your choosing, and if your opponent outclasses you in any engagement, run away. Agreed. Perseus was not balanced with Medusa. He was better than Medusa. So who's in control? Talking about the Maze Controller. If you don't want to run into random monsters, then leave before the end of the first turn in the dungeon. If you don't want to be killed, then avoid combat. Players control more than they think in classic fantasy role-playing games. I agree. And then it talks about dice rolls there. And then we've got a bunch of terminology. A lot of this is going to be, since it's based off BX and first edition, this is going to be pretty normal to a lot of people. Nothing here is really going to stand out, I think, is super different. Except Maze Controller, of course, is the game master or referee. It's got your dice. It's got armor class. I'm not sure if that's ascending or descending. And then you've got your character creation. Very normal. Strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, charisma. You're going to have bonuses to XP based off of prime abilities. Character races, you've got human, how to role play them. I like that. Great art here. Elf, halfling, half-orc, dwarf, human, cyclops man, gnome, and half-elf. Of course, cyclops man also makes me think of Kroll. Kroll is also one of my favorite fantasy movies that also had a huge impact on me as a kid. So I'm glad to see them there. And there it shows you there. They do have ability score modifiers in the negative, so that's good. And of course, I believe some of this is probably subject to change. This is just a preview of it, a quick start. But it explains about how they're dour, dogmatic race. They have a couple abilities that are pretty neat. They're superstitious. They're unable to consume alcohol. It pretty much is like lethal poison to them. But they can consume clotted cream, which has the same intoxicating effect as alcohol. Kind of reminds me of Alien Nation, I think it was called. I'm not sure how those aliens were a little bit weird. So very cool. They're also resilient, and their depth perception makes them have -2 on all ranged attacks. Very interesting. Dwarf, we know a lot of these races have got gem appraisal. They've got racial enemies, which I've always liked racial enemies. Thief skill bonuses, armor class, size adjustment whenever they're attacking larger creatures. You've got your elf, a lot of stuff you know here. +1 to hit with longbow, immune to ghoul, paralysis, sleep and charm spells. Gnomes, they're also going to have some gem appraisal. A lot of gem appraisal, everybody's going to be haggling over how much they think that gem is worth. So that's going to be fun. They hate kobolds. They get +1. They're good with illusionist spells. So a lot of things you already know. Halfling, gem appraisal, thrown weapons, +1 to hit with slings and daggers. I like that. They're good at hiding. Half-elves, cool piece of art down there. Half-orcs, always like seeing them. They're good at tracking. They've got some thief skill bonuses and dark vision. And that's it. That's all we get to see right now. So it's just 13 pages. I can't wait to see more. I didn't even know that this was being made. I like what I see here from the credits, the people that are involved. Valzamix is cool. I've seen him, of course, from Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. That's what I still call it because I like that name. But there it is. So check out Dragonslayer. Look forward to seeing more about it in the future. Of course, I like stuff that Greg Gillespie makes, so I'm very much hoping that this is going to be a very cool game. So thanks a lot.